Hell yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm making a new video. It's been a long time. I haven't had many good ideas, haven't really felt motivated to make a video, and oftentimes just didn't have the time. But today I've got a good idea, and I think you're gonna like it. Here's 545s that I have that are pretty cool.
Play the.
Hey, it's your boy PewDiePie here. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop.
Okay, Jesus Christ, don't sue me.
So for anyone who knows me, they know I'm a huge Monkees fan, and this single is probably the most important, and I would say most interesting single in the group's catalog. The A-side, A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You, was written by Neil Diamond and went to number 2 in the United States. But the B-side, I think, is much more interesting, and definitely I think is a better song. Now before we go to that, I want to put the two side by side. Other than the titles and the songwriting credits, I want to see if you can pick out the difference here. I'll give you a second.
That's right, the B-side does not say music supervision by Don Kirshner. For those who don't know, the Monkees were actually not a real band when the whole thing started. They were hired as 4 actors to play on a television show about a rock and roll group, though each of them themselves did have musical backgrounds. This did become apparent when eventually the guys started jamming out on set between takes during the show, filming of it. And some people noticed this and figured it'd be a good idea to take their garage band act on the road, and the Monkees toured, and with each show, they really gained confidence in themselves as a group, and they wanted to record and be on the Monkees records. Now, they weren't able to do this because the man who was controlling what was being released under the Monkees name was Screen Show's music supervisor, Don Kirshner, and he wouldn't let the guys play. For the most part, there's a couple exceptions of writing and playing, but for the most part, he wouldn't let them, and some tension began to build between them. And eventually, Don Kirshner was fired. And here's how the situation played out. Take a look.
All right, either we play on those records, and we have a say in what goes on, or I quit.
Look, kid, you made a deal with us, and we'll tell you what to record. Take a look at your contract.
You see that? That could have been
John C.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time.
And so the Monkees left their meeting with their music supervisor. Now, with creative control in hand, they went on to become the 4 kings of EMI, dethroning the previous. And they went on to rule the world, which they still do to this day, releasing new albums and touring.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, but what actually happened was, though there was the tension going on between the Monkees themselves and Don Kirshner, that tension wasn't what got him fired. What got him fired was he released the single in Canada with the B-side, She Hangs Out, written by Jeff Barry, instead of The Girl I Knew Somewhere. This was a violation of his contract, and he was fired, and the creative control was given to the Monkees to do with whatever they wanted with their own music, and they began recording Headquarters soon after. Interesting story, really cool stuff. The Monkees definitely have one of the coolest stories in pop music, but then again, that's just my opinion.
somebody to help you. Just let out a sound.
And up next, we have another made-for-TV group, this time one that is far less serious, The Bugaloos. Yes, you heard me correct. The television show about the teenagers, I mean bug children, that live in a forest. It's actually called Tranquility Forest. And they play in a rock and roll band, and they hang out with their friend Sparky the Firefly. Meanwhile, across the woods, there's an evil record producer who lives in an evil jukebox. No, it's actually a regular jukebox. And she is talentless and is constantly trying to capture the group and force them to record hit records for her.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well, maybe it is stupid, but it's also dumb.
Patrick right, Squidward. The Bugaloos! No laughing matter.
If you listen to the sounds that surround you, you'll discover that you're never quite alone. Hear the earth and the sky.
You're probably thinking to yourself right now, dude, what the hell? This was a TV show for like 6-year-old kids that came out in 1970. Why are you even giving it any of your time? Well, since you asked, I have an answer for you. That's because, as you could probably guess, being a show about a rock and roll group, they put out an album. And guess what? That album is actually pretty good. I don't have it, but I've listened to it. And what I do have, though, is the single that they released, the only single they released. For a Friend and The Senses of Our World, both songs written by Hal Yorkler. The A-side, For a Friend, is a catchy little pop tune, nothing too special, but the B-side, however, The Senses of Our World, is a very beautiful song, one of a great, I would say it's a great lost gem of pop music. And I feel like it could have been more popular if somebody else had done it and tweaked it a bit. It didn't have, like, the Bugaloos name on it. But either way, it's really a good song, and definitely worth your time. Give it a listen if you haven't heard it before. Don't let the name, the group's name totally turn you off to it, because I can understand that it would, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Accept this time he's gone for good. He'll never come back now, even though he said he would. So darling, dry your eyes.
In 1969, after many lineup changes, the British rock group Pinkerton's Assorted Colors reformed and renamed themselves The Flying Machine. They went on to record one album, which I don't have yet, but I would very much like to have, and a couple singles, notably the 1969 hit Smile a Little Smile for Me, which went to number 5 in the United States. It's a calm, pretty little tune. It's a good song. Maybe We've Been Loving Too Long is actually a better song, and I'm noticing this now. This was not intentional that for each one of these I'd be saying that the B-side was better than the A, but this time it really should have been. They should have put Maybe We've Been Loving Too Long as the A-side and Smile a Little Smile for Me as the B-side, but it's not my call. But Maybe We've Been Loving Too Long is a great song. Would have gotten radio play. Oh yeah. And the guitar solo in this is fantastic. Take a listen. take a boat from one side of the river to the other, because the land that holds said river is your home and where you intend to remain. Ferry Cross the Mersey, written by Jerry Marsden and performed by the Four Lads of Liverpool, Jerry and the Pacemakers. Yeah, the song has an interesting written backstory. Jerry was on a date with his girlfriend, and he just, well, you know, why don't I'll let him explain it for you.
We were going out for dinner, driving the car, and I suddenly heard in my head, doo-doom, 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 doo-doom. That's it. So I stopped the car, jumped out, rung my mum up. Mum, quick, get the tape by the phone, quick, press them 2 buttons. What for? I said, don't ask me questions, just do it. She did it. So before I could forget, I went, doo-doom, doo-doom, doo-doom. Thanks, Mum, I love you. So I said to my girlfriend, I'm taking you home. I want to write this song now. So I went back to my home, sat in the parlour, put the tape on, heard the introduction, and I said, life goes on day after day, hearts torn in every way. So ferry across the Mersey, because the land's the place I love and here I'll stay.
The song was a hit and went on to be the inspiration and basis for the group's only film, which was also titled Ferry Across the Mersey. It's so bad that it's good. There's some funny moments and the music's pretty good, but I don't know.
We don't care what your name is, boy. We'll never turn you away. Pretend you're happy when you're blue. It isn't very hard to do. And you will find happiness without an end if you pretend. Remember, anyone can bring.
The B-side, Pretend, is kind of just a generic 50s sounding rock tune. Yeah, see, this time the B-side's not better than the A-side. Yeah, it's a good song, but it's just not stand out as far as I'm concerned. To end off the list, we have a single by a group that I think honestly might have the worst name of any band I've ever heard. And honestly though, that is the whole reason why I gave it a chance. It was stupid and I figured, oh great, this is going to be some kind of 50s stupid thing, but no, it was actually pretty good. It was a power pop group, you know, I didn't expect that. Krabby Appleton. Ugh, I know, right? But, so I put this 45 on. I had gotten it in a free box from Cherry's Records, which, by the way, if you've never been there, go. It's fantastic. Yeah, I got the 45 in a free box, and I put it on, and to my surprise, it was fantastic. Yeah, Krabby Appleton seems to be like a power pop group, and they had a minor hit with Go Away, which is the song that's on here. And, yeah, this song's pretty good. For sure. I'm gonna have to definitely check this group out. I don't know too much about them. Yeah, I really don't have anything to say about the B-side. I'm just gonna let it play for a bit. Alright, and that concludes the video here. Little side note, this was not a list from worst to best, it was just 5 random 45s that I thought were pretty cool. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share it, you know, if you liked it. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.